Hey there guys, welcome to the next tutorial here on the DuctTapeStuff channel. If many of you watched my Collections Volume 10 video, you probably saw my really tiny miniature wallet that I made for that video. A lot of people did see it and they did ask me to make a tutorial on it, so I wanted to crank one of those out fairly soon. So that's what we're going to be learning to make in this tutorial. A lot of people, when you probably saw that video, you were probably like, well, what possible function can something this tiny actually serve? I mean, you can't put your money in there, and you actually can't put your credit cards in because it's just so small, but they do actually work really well as keychain dangles. A lot of people, you guys actually guessed this in the comments for the collections volume, so that's what I'm going to be turning into at the end of the video. So we're going to make this little wallet here, and then we're going to turn it into a keychain dangle, a really neat little keychain dangle. So I'm going to have this little quarter here just to kind of give you guys an idea of how big it is, so you know, that'll give you kind of an indication of how big the wallet's going to be. And we're going to zoom in a little bit here so I can kind of show you how to make this really tiny wallet. So let's get started here on this tutorial. Alright, so your first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut out two strips of tape that are about 1.75 inches long, so 1 3/4 inches long. It's just a little bit less than 2 inches. As you can see here, this is the 2-inch line on the cutting board here, and this is the 2-inch line over here. So it's just a little bit less than 2 inches. You can make it two different colors if you want to. I'm just going to do that to hopefully give you guys a little bit of an idea of how the strips are being applied, because it is going to be extremely tiny. So what you're going to do is you're going to come down about 3/4 on each of these strips, and you're going to make a cut straight across. Then come down another 3/4 and make another cut across. So you're going to do it with both of them. Now we're pretty much just going to make the two parts of the billfold. So we're going to do that first. So take your two little strips here. You can have a little bit left on the end there. That's fine. Take your first two strips and stick them together just like this. Try to make it as perfect as possible, because even though it's a really miniature wallet, you do want to kind of make sure that they are exactly the same. So we got that piece set aside. Next I'm going to do it with the polka-dot tape over here. So I'm going to flip that piece over, and I'm going to flip this piece over as well. It's going to be a little bit difficult just because these strips are so tiny. I mean, you definitely want to make sure that you definitely do stick these on fairly well when you are making your miniature wallet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick these two directly on top of each other, right? Just like this. And hopefully they are fairly identical. They seem to be pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is you're going to have two of these strips left over if you went down 3/4 of an inch and 3/4 of an inch again and made two cuts. So I'm just going to go with the polka dot one here. And this will serve as our strip to attach it on the bottom here. So let's see if I can just line this up. Definitely a little tricky just because it is so tiny in comparison to a normal sized wallet. So we're just going to flip the whole thing over by lining it up again. It doesn't have to have a lot of the sticky side coming back around the side, just because, I mean, it's probably not going to have to hold up too well, because you're not actually putting money or anything in this. You're just making a tiny little keychain dangle. So just fold it around just like that. And now we have that part of the billfold connected, the bottom part, so now we're going to connect the sides. So to connect the sides, I'll probably just go with this strip that I have left over, the brown, and I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife, cut a little bit up here so that it's the same size, and I'll use these two little strips to connect the sides of the billfold. You're definitely not wasting a lot of tape on this project at all. So even though it doesn't really serve too much of a wallet function or purpose, you're definitely not wasting that much tape on it, so you probably won't be too broken up about it. So we have that side sealed up over here. Next we're going to do this part over here. So your X-Acto knife will definitely come in handy here if you're trying to move strips around and stuff like that. So definitely, if you have an X-Acto knife, you definitely want to try to use that to pry strips up and stick them down. So there we have the billfold totally made. We're just going to fold this just like we put a normal wallet. Just crease that down. And then after that, we're going to start working on the little credit card holders. So you can probably set something fairly decently heavy on that for a little while. That'll get the crease used to staying closed. And now we'll work on the credit card holders next. So before we talk about the credit card holders, I want to take a brief pause here and talk about the hole punch used, because we're going to be putting this on a keychain obviously, so we have to have a hole punch through it eventually. Now I actually stopped at this point and cut a small hole through it with my X-Acto knife. If you have a hole puncher, that'll probably work as well, but you probably don't want to wait until you've made the entire little mini wallet here and then try to hole punch through that many layers of tape. It's probably not going to work out too well. So I would definitely try to punch a hole in it now, or just take your X-Acto knife and cut through those 2 layers and then just make a hole, say like right here in the corner should be fine. And that'll make it a lot easier when we apply the credit card holder. You'll cut another hole through it and stuff like that. It'll make it a lot easier for you instead of just making the entire thing and trying to hole punch through that, because it's probably not going to work out too well. So now let's work on making the credit card holders here. Alright, so for the mini credit card holders here, I cut out a strip of tape that was 1 inch long. I basically just turned it on its side here. This is the polka-dot tape once again. Kind of lines up the wallet here and kind of decided where I want, how big I want my credit card holders. I want to come to a little bit before the crease there. That's what I usually do for my regular size wallets. So she made a cut straight through there, and then I came across exactly the same dimensions and made another cut right there. So what I'm going to do here is peel up this first little piece, and this is where it's going to get even trickier because these pieces are even smaller than the ones that you've been using. So if you have your X-Acto knife, it can definitely come in handy to try to stick these little credit card holders on. So I have that part stuck together. I'm going to use this bottom piece as the connector that'll stick onto the wall itself and seal the credit card holder down. So at this point we can probably come over here. I'll work on this part first, and we are going to cover up that little hole punch there at this point, but I'll definitely be recutting it eventually, so we don't have to worry about that too much. So we got that little credit card holder in. Now I'm going to take these little pieces at the end here. You should have these left over after you've cut out these 2 pieces over here. So we got 1 piece on that side and then 1 piece on this side, and that'll effectively seal up our credit card holder. So then we got that 1 on that side. To do the one on the other side, it's exactly the same process. You just flip over these 2 little pieces. Your first one there, second one right here. Definitely try to use your X-Acto knife to your advantage. And then we have this little piece to connect them. So putting in our second credit card holder. So just flipping it over. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're not actually going to put credit cards in there, so it doesn't have to be, you know, totally perfect. Don't worry about that at all. So I have 1 little piece left over here, so I'm probably going to have to cut, you know, another little strip just to apply this second credit card holder. But that'll pretty much serve as our 2 credit card holders inside our miniature wallet here. So once you've gotten that other little piece just to seal up the other credit card holder, we now have pretty much our miniature wallet here. So obviously, you know, you can't put too much in it, but I did punch a little bit of hole there. You can kind of see it does have the hole punch through it again. So now you just take like your key ring or something along those lines, put your keys on there, and now you have like a little nifty wallet on your keychain, which is really neat because it's just a really neat thing to put on there. And you guys did guess it right on the collections video, so that I was eventually going to make these into keychains, so it was a really good guess. If you guys do want to put like extra credit card holders in it, like this one actually has 2 of them. It's got, you know, 1 there and then 1 here. All you do is just do the exact same method that you would do on a normal wallet. You know, just apply the second one a little bit farther up and then put the second one on top of that one. For the ID holder, same exact principle. If you were making a regular size ID holder for a bigger wallet, you just cut out a really tiny little piece of plastic or HD clear tape or whatever you're using, and then just seal it up, you know, on the sides and put a little strip on the top or whatever style you're used to making it, and you have your little ID holder in there. So definitely a real tiny little creation to make. There isn't too much use for it beyond, you know, putting it on a keychain. If you have like a Ken doll or something that needs a wallet, maybe you could make it for something like that. But, you know, other than that, it definitely is a little fun thing to make. You're not wasting pretty much any tape at all, so that's definitely a major thing. So definitely check out some of my other videos if you want to. A lot of cool things on the channel, and just subscribe if you want to. The Facebook fan page is getting some great attention at the moment, and I'll catch you guys next time on the channel. Have fun making a little miniature wallet, and I'll see you next time. Take care.